Welcome to the special Friday night's edition of Weather Willie's video discussion here. And, just when you think that, the weather's just going to cool down in time for Thanksgiving and things are going to be settled, now we have all types of storm threats on the maps. And I really thought things might hold off till December here, but there's potential on the field. And let's start off here by taking a look at what's going to happen early in the week. And this is a rainstorm that's going to be affecting our area early in the week. And you can see it brings all this warm air up on Sunday and Monday, so it's going to rain on Monday, and it's going to basically be a washout. All the cold air is behind it, and what happens is that cold air is going to funnel south. So in the wake of that storm, here you go. Here's that cold air, and now what you have is a boundary between warm and cold air, and you guys have heard me talk about this many times. Whenever you have that boundary, storms like to form along that boundary, as long as you have a disturbance to spin up that air and the proper upper air setup in place. So let's start off with that. Let's take a look at the upper air setup. So we have cold air in place heading into Wednesday morning. What do things look like upper air? So here's the upper air setup right here. And what you see here is you have this ridge of high pressure in the western Atlantic, which is steering the jet stream down like this, okay, and popping up a big ridge in the west. Okay, now normally when I want to see a big East Coast storm, you want this area of high pressure more centered over Greenland. That really slows down the flow and everything just collapses underneath it. But right here, this is a scenario where we have a disturbance down here and a disturbance up here. If they come together perfectly, you thread the needle and bring the storm right up the coast. In addition to that, this ridge has to stay here. You cannot see this ridge break down. If this ridge breaks down, then everything just shoots out to sea and you can forget about it. So right now, this is what the European ensemble is showing. So you have to take it seriously that, okay, although it's not a perfect setup, there is potential for a storm to form. Now let's take a look at the disturbances that can spin up that cold air I was talking about. Okay, so two areas of focus here. Here's our main southern stream, subtropical jet stream disturbance down there, and you have a northern disturbance up here. Okay, the question is, how fast is this disturbance, and does it catch this disturbance initially? And we're looking right now at the, we're looking right now at the Wednesday into Thursday time frame. Okay, so if I go here and say, what's the model projecting now, you can see that by the time we get to 1 o'clock on Wednesday, it's developing a storm, but it keeps the storm just offshore. So it really just skirts by our area with some light snow maybe, and it goes out to sea. GFS model says, well, the storm's way out here. Well, we've seen that before. So typical difference in the modeling. So two things are going to happen here, okay? And this first threat, again, is Wednesday into Thursday. Scenario number one, okay, these two disturbances catch up to each other. So this is a little quicker. What that does is it takes this storm, okay, it pulls it into the coast more, okay, and you have a nice snow event looking like this in this area, okay, and everybody's happy who likes snow, and everybody's miserable who has to travel and hates snow. So that's scenario number one. Okay, scenario number two, that's where things can get a little wild here, guys, because scenario number two is basically, it says, you know what, we're going to take this piece right here, okay, we're going to let this move ahead, and we're going to dig this piece down, and we're going to cut it off. So watch what happens. The European model today actually starts showing hints of that. It has a cutoff low right here. It's at 18,000 feet, high pressure to the north, funneling air down, and you have a storm that can really, really blow up on the coast. And you can see the European, although it has it offshore, this is a significant storm that's developing offshore, and it's blocked in by this big area of high pressure to the north. This is a banana high, so the storm cannot go into the high. It has to move out like this. So if you set up this high pressure properly and those disturbances are timed, you got a major storm that's blowing up off the coast just in time, and this is the second threat, which is Thursday night, Thanksgiving night into Friday morning. So what am I trying to say here? Look, there's two threats right now. They could consolidate to one, especially if initially this is a little quicker and it has one big storm. But if this piece is left behind and we have our surf storms go out to sea, like I'm saying, we got to look for this scenario too. So I don't know what's going to happen yet. Here is what the European ensemble is saying. I want to show this because I think it's important. The first threat, this is on late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. This is basically the European model tested for error. It reruns the model 52 times and says, okay, if we vary the inputs, what happens? You can see a lot of these L's, low pressure centers, for each run is to the left of the main storm track, which means the ensemble is saying, well, maybe this should be further west than what the model's saying. If we go to Friday, again, it doesn't back off. It shows that secondary storm potentially developing to the left of that main center. So we have to take this seriously. If you average out all 52 members, it says, look, we have several inches of snow on the ground. So when I see this, I say, okay, now we have something to follow. So keep checking in. I'll be updating every day, and I think hopefully I can provide you guys with some good insight. But don't be changing any plans yet. This is just speculation for now, but Pretty impressive from this far out.